2 years ago, I was told Policy 1040 was just an umbrella philosophy, and you weren't going to allow boys into the girls' locker rooms. But here you are doing just that.
Good morning, good evening, and welcome back. If you're new here, welcome. I'm Harry Potter. As you can see, I've been marked by the communist beast. Now, whenever a socialist comes near me, like AOC, Ilhan Omar, or Kamala Harris, my scar, it begins to burn. Thankfully, I'm in Florida where Ron DeSantis is keeping the communists at bay. Another thing he's keeping at bay is critical theory and critical race theory. Florida schools are as good as they were when I was young. No critical race theory allowed. However, across the country, things are different. The critical race theory virus has infected our schools and it's spreading. But, thankfully, many people are waking up and objecting it. And that is exactly what we'll be covering in this video. They're getting close. First things first, as of this week, Florida Governor and future President Ronald DeSantis has banned critical race theory from Florida classrooms. Thank you. Now, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but that might be enough to have my vote. Second thing is second. I didn't cut myself. This is a makeup. AOC didn't bite me with her big fangs. What happened was, I was teaching the dogs to swim in the new pool and, well, I caught a nail. It happens. What are you gonna do? Now, what if I told you that middle and elementary school children were being taught to have anal and oral sex and how much of it is appropriate? You wouldn't believe me. I wouldn't believe me either. But 'tis the truth in Biden's America. Thankfully, parents are finally waking up to the woke virus, to the critical theory virus that has infected their schools, like this enraged mother that I'm about to show you. Take a listen. Listen.
She came to your school when she procures bids for ISU with construction and came to your school and spoke to your staff for 2 straight days. Why did she do that? This is why she did that. This is why she did that. To make sure that when our students want to know whether or not they have a vagina or a penis, they have pictures from your staff to be able to help them. They don't have enough sex. They don't have enough anal sex. They need adults to tell them how to masturbate. And what I call that is... So here's what I'm asking you. You have a hard time hearing this from me, but this is for 10 years old and up, and this bill was passed for 5-year-olds. And you have a hard time me sitting here telling you the words anal sex, masturbation. That's hard for you, or the time's up? Because the time's not really up. I don't believe you, Mr. Wiley, that my time is up. But I'm going to end with this. I'll close with this because this was too much for you. I can tell right now. And that's why you're cutting me off. But last time I said, you know what? Critical race theory. Little girl in the back was laughing every single time Megan said something because white people oppress black people, right? Isn't your principal black? Isn't your mayor black?
She did a great job, and I loved the sass at the end. Now let's be real. Those type of teachings have no place in school. But little me would not have objected. One of the top middle schools in New York City is planning to end all advanced math courses in the name of, you guessed it, equity. Parents are enraged and complain, so now the school will reconsider, whatever that means. Now you may be thinking, hey, you've covered this before, 2 or 3 times. Wrong. I've covered something similar before. This is the 3rd time, true, that I cover about a school getting rid of their math programs in the name of equity. But they've been different schools, most importantly, different states. The last one was Washington State. This one is New York. How about that? Now it doesn't surprise me because a tyrannical and or communist leadership would want its population to be uneducated. And there you go. Because it's easy to dumb everybody down in the name of equity. In London County, one of the richest counties in the nation, and a county which we have indeed covered before, an 8th grader stood in front of the school board and reprimanded them for breaking their promise to her. Check it out.
2 years ago, I was told Policy 1040 was just an umbrella philosophy, and you weren't going to allow boys into the girls' locker rooms. But here you are doing just that. Everyone knows what a boy is, even you. Your proposed policies are dangerous and rooted in sexism. When woke kids asked me if I was a lesbian or a trans boy because I cut my hair short, it should tell you these modern identities are superficial. My guidance counselor's response to my concerns about bathroom privacy and safety was, well, there are stalls in the bathrooms. Now boys are reading erotica in the classrooms next to girls, and you want to give them access to girls' locker rooms, and you want to force girls to call those boys she. You do this in the name of inclusivity while ignoring the girls who will pay the price. Your policies choose boys' wants over girls' needs.
What happened to women's rights? Anyone going to stand up for them? Young girls don't feel safe in the restrooms. They don't feel safe in the locker rooms. Are we going to wait till we see an increase in sexual assault? Do they not have the right to feel safe and away from males in the goddamn locker room? Come on, man.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Unfortunately, it's not just our schools. We also have our politicians pushing critical theory and critical race theory. For example, Javier Becerra, Biden's Secretary of Health and Human Services, has stopped using the term mother. He now refers to them as birthing people, because mother is offensive. When questioned about this, he had no real explanation for it. Take it out.
I also noticed you changed a term in your budget work. You shifted from using the term mother to birthing people rather than mother. Can you help me get a good definition of birthing people?
Well, I'll check on the language there, but I think if we're talking about those who give birth, I think we're talking about, I don't know how else to explain it to you other than
I was a little taken back when I just read it and saw it, that the term mother was gone in spots and it was replaced with birthing people. And I didn't know if this was a direction that you were going, if there were shifts, if there are regulatory changes that are happening related to that, or what the purpose of that is.
I think it's probably, and again, I'd have to go back and take a look at the language that was used in the budget, but I think it simply reflects the work that's being done.
Very nice, Javier. Very nice. I like it. Across the pond, in the land of Harry Potter, Boris Johnson wants to rebuild society in a more feminine, yet gender-neutral way. No idea what that means. Maybe you do.
But also that we're building back better together, and building back greener, and building back fairer, and building back more equal, and how shall I, more in a more gender-neutral and perhaps a more feminine way. How about that?
So, in a more gender-neutral way or a more feminine way? You've got to pick one. If you choose the more feminine, okay, I'll listen to the argument. But if you go with gender-neutral, I ain't listening. AOC must be close. I gotta get going. Make sure to like, subscribe, share. Or maybe you who ends up with the mark of the beast. Thank you for watching. See you next time.